So we went over sales, we went over customer service, tech support, briefly touched on the attachments, we covered what all comes with it. We talked about shipping, we talked about the instructions to build this rig. All right, so that brings us to the next features, which I'm going to start with the actual pull-up bar. So here we go, I want to do a pull-up, but so I prefer pull-ups like this, right? I struggle with these, working on those. So I was a little concerned because my Fitness Reality A10 XLT, which is replaced, those pull-up bar on that unit was to me was stellar. This is not quite as good in my opinion, right? It's actually held together by 2 screws back here, and I'll see after I try my pull-up. I can show you some examples or I can actually show you those screws. So it just seems like a lot of weight to be supported by 2 screws. I don't know. It so far hasn't fallen down though, so I guess that's a plus. So I like to grab here. Again, held together by 2 screws, but it held me up, so I guess I can't complain about that. So that's the pull-up. Okay, as promised, we're going to take a little better look at these pull-up handles here. Again, they held me, so I don't know what the heck I'm complaining about. But if you look back here, just the camera here, that is what's holding up one of the pull-up handles. And over here, same thing. So again, that was kind of concerning as I was putting it together, but so far so good. All right, next we're going to go over the J hooks and the safety or spotter bars, whatever you want to call it. So if you remember earlier in the video, these pieces were stored over here in the back of the rack, so I put them up here for the review. These things are solid, man. These are heavy duty. We're in good shape there. The same with the spotter arms, safety arms, whatever you want to call them. I've done some rack pulls off of those. Again, the quality is top notch. So the J hooks and the spotter arms definitely fall into the good category. So we've touched on the sales, the shipping, the putting it together. We've touched on the pull-up handles. That's a full review on those. We touched on the J hooks and the spotter bars. Those are a full review on those. Everything else we've mentioned, still have a fuller review coming on all those items. We're going to do a full review of the Smith machine, a full review of the attachments and everything else, but that's probably it for today. I got to get back to life here, so to be continued. So most people use the Smith machine for squats, right? Well, I have a little problem with shoulder mobility. As you can see, they don't go further back than that. So I can't do back squats on this, as much as I would love to. I can't get the shoulders. I can do front squats on this, which I have done. It's not too bad, right? Get underneath here, roll it forward, right? And you just go down. So nice and smooth. Right? Obviously, you can do shrugs, right? You can do upright rows. So that's what this is, upright row. You can do shrugs. Right? You can do behind the back shrugs too. You could do a rack pull, if you will, right? I've got the safety set up a little higher right now, so can't really demonstrate that. But, yeah, it's pretty neat. Obviously, do bench press, right? I love using it for bench press, especially when you don't have a spotter. Or I trained my wife, and she really can't spot if I'm benching any decent amount of weight. So this is great. So again, flat bench, incline bench, decline bench, close grip bench. I mean, just, you're almost limited to your imagination. The Smith machine looks really great, but let's take a closer look at the Smith machine real quick. So if you'll see here, it fits the normal Olympic size plates. It's got the nice, whatever you call that there, to slide up and down. It's got these right here to latch onto, which I know those vary depending on the model you get, but I'm pretty pleased. One Little word of advice though, if you do get this, putting the Smith machine bar together is a real pain. You would think it'd be easy, you'd think it'd be one bar, but it's not. It's several pieces. It's kind of a pain, but now that it's built, I love it. All right, let's get to the stacks here real quick. And the lighting isn't real great, so we'll kind of see if this helps a little bit. So I love having the weight stacks here. What I don't like is the increments. So they're in 13-pound increments. And yes, the weight stickers are over here, except for this one. That's because the instructions sucked, as I mentioned previously, and the stickers are on the wrong side. But not that big of a deal. So I'm used to the old gyms where it's 10-pound plates. These are 13. So it goes all the way from 13 pounds all the way to 198 pounds. We'll call it 200. The pin is not too bad for this, except I'm going to show you one exception here on the other side. Again, lighting isn't quite as good over here, but as you'll see, the magnets in this pin have broken out already, broken out into 3 different pieces. So I need to call Jacked Up Fitness about that. But overall, I like the weight stacks. While we're down here, we got the landmine attachment, which is pretty cool. Obviously, I'm not going to demonstrate that now, maybe later on in the video, but pretty self-explanatory. You put your Olympic weight bar in there on one end, and it comes with a handle on the other end to do, you can do bent over rows, you can do military press, you can do all kinds of things with that. We're on the topic of the weight stacks there. Got the foot plate for if you want to do seated rows. Really nice little addition there. I like it. So obviously, stick here. You'd bring that cable attachment down, and I'll do that real quick. And since I don't have a professional film crew, I'll do one-handed rows. But yeah, really nice setup here on the foot plate. I give that an A. So, and when it's not in use, you simply flip it down. Boy, you can't beat that. All right, next we're gonna take a look at the dip handles. All right, so here you go. Remember, I store those in the back of the rack real nicely. So let's go ahead and hook these up here. Take that, get these in here. Voila. So I got both dip handles on. They're good to go. I'm gonna take a step back here. Works great, right? Does the job. I do like my Fitness Reality dip handles better, but I've sold that. These are just fine.